This video is on proving parallelograms. In the previous investigation, video, and practice exercises, you discovered the definition of and other characteristics of a parallelogram. We can use the converses of some of these statements to show that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So if a quadrilateral has both pairs of opposite sides parallel to each other, then that quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So if AB is parallel to DC and BC is parallel to AD, then quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. Notice that this is the converse of the definition of a parallelogram. What the definition says that if it is a parallelogram, then both pairs of opposite sides are parallel to each other. What this says is if you have a quadrilateral, any four-sided figure, and it's both pairs of opposite sides are parallel to each other, then you know that that quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Here are several more. If the opposite sides of a quadrilateral are congruent, then it is a parallelogram. So if JK is congruent to ML and JM is congruent to KL, then quadrilateral JKLM is a parallelogram. If opposite angles of a quadrilateral are congruent, then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So if angle J is congruent to angle L and angle K is congruent to angle M, then quadrilateral JKLM is a parallelogram. If consecutive angles of a quadrilateral are supplementary, then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So instead of listing out every angle, you'll notice that they labeled opposite angles. These J and L are X degrees and K and M are Y degrees. So in any of these, if X plus Y equals 180, if any consecutive angles are supplementary, add up to 180, then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. If the diagonals of a quadrilateral bisect each other, then it's a parallelogram. So if AE equals EC and BE equals ED, then quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. And if one pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is both parallel and congruent, then it is a parallelogram. So if AB is parallel to DC and AB is also congruent to DC, then quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. So in this video, we took a look at the converses of the definition of a parallelogram and several of the theorems that we had about the parallelogram to show that if those certain conditions exist for a quadrilateral, then we know that it is a parallelogram.